How do you know?
All right, hey, the trailer was rolling. I'm sorry. We're back with another episode. Let's do the sponsors first. Head over to the website, johnbartoloshow.com. There's a complete list of the sponsors there. I want to thank a few of them now. Shout out to Sig Sauer, Volquartz and Firearms, Right on Optics, all the brands that went to SHOT Show. God, and Sig Sauer. Go check out Sig Sauer. Special shout out to 221B Tactical. You may see some of their employees walking around in the background. They are putting together a bar, the Howler Head Bar, that's going back here too. If you see anybody cross behind me, we're doing so many episodes that the work just doesn't stop in here. Leave reviews, and guys, do me a favor, tap like, share it if you like what you see. I got a special guest today. I spent a couple days with this lady. She's a sweetheart, and we got to know each other a little bit walking around the show and spending some time. She finally made it out here. We've been trying to get her for a while. We got the one and only Kristen Nun.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fabulous. Yourself?
I'm hanging in there. You've been with me, so it's been rough. What do you think? Well, first of all, let's get into this. We've got to spend a little time together, so we're cheating a little bit. We know each other a little bit better, so you kind of have become a friend that I'm spending some time with. So
That's sweet.
So it's a little cheating. So I'm gonna try to be nice, but we're gonna get into some stuff. Now, you got to walk around SHOT Show. What do you think of that? It's weird, right? Different than fitness.
It's different.
It's different.
But it's good.
Yeah?
It's a good different.
You like it?
Yeah, I do. Good first impression.
It is funny how everybody has like a tactical application something, right? Like there's a pouch, there's a knife, there's a pen, there's a something for everything, right?
Absolutely.
There's always something. Now, conversely, the fitness industry, the trade show industry kind of in that space has become like, it's almost like Filene's Basement. Like you can get a t-shirt, you can get a shaker cup, and it's changed. They're all very different, and the crowd is very different. I think we both dress the part. Both groups, you walk around a fitness show and people are like in workout, like they're going to work out that day. And in the gun industry, it's kind of funny because they walk around in like full tactical.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yes.
There's that. But Vegas is glad to have you. And we're glad to have you be a part of this whole SHOT Show experience.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
I know. So start back at the beginning. Like, what made you be so drawn to fitness, and why is that important to you? Because clearly it is. You train. And if you go to Kristen's page, I know people are sharing it here, you could clearly see that you take it seriously. I clearly do not. I have not missed a cereal that I don't like or a snack that I don't like. I'm disgusting. Why did you get so drawn to it?
It's been a part of my life since I was very young. Actually, soccer was my first love.
I could see that.
And then I just kind of started cross-training and transitioned more into the weightlifting as I got older.
Is it power bodybuilding? Is somewhere Mike O'Hearn's saying, these are power bodybuilders?
I don't even like to use the word bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I fit in any type of box.
And just so everybody knows listening, Kristen is, her pictures, I think, don't do her justice. In real life, she is just a fit lady. Like it's together. And that's obviously a lot of work, but you don't diet that hard. That's what's funny.
No.
Why is that?
Just train hard enough.
Just train hard enough.
Yeah.
I like that answer. So if you train hard enough, you can get away with a lot. I hope that works when I get older. So clearly, clearly I'm headed towards a path of ruin. There's nothing redeemable about me. There's a lot to be said, though, about training as hard as you can all the time. How do you feel about that theory versus, the new theories that have come in, which are like rest and recovery, and it's built on that? I heard Gordon Ryan say this once. He's a big jiu-jitsu guy. He said he trains every day. He just trains what his body allows him to train to the maximum of its ability.
I would say that's a good way to say it. Mm-hmm. I know when I need the rest, and I know when I can go harder.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to balance, though. That's why people get injured, and things happen is they don't know how to take their foot off the pedal a little bit.
True.
It is true.
I've been pretty lucky. I don't have any super serious injuries. A couple of surgeries here and there, but nothing super serious.
Now, bye, Taylor.
Bye.
Taylor Spadaccino's leaving. She stopped by to say hi. Shout out to Taylor. Maybe we'll get her back on the show one day when she's back. Bye. I stopped the show to say goodbye. I had to. It's really, interesting seeing the fitness space evolve and seeing, who's come into it, what it's turned into. The money's not on the stage anymore, which is interesting. It's really interesting. How do you feel about that being on the other side of it? Possibly the beneficiary if you wanted to be, but I know your big thing is no sponsors, but there are people out there that, you know, are soliciting it, but they're not competitors. Does that, you know, is that good for you or bad for you? How do you feel about that? It's dangerous because you're not awarding the winners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not awarding the hard work. And I think it's going to erode the sport over time. It might be a little dangerous where the influencers have the power now. And that's going to change the dynamic of how they market, how they try to appeal to.
Oh, for sure.
And maybe it's a good thing. Maybe. I don't know. That's an interesting one that we're going to see play out. Now, hopefully they bring Olympia back this year. That'll be fun. But training is not easy, and it's not easy to do. What, besides soccer, what is it that makes you want to go in there every day and just pound weights and just train? Because I can't do it for the life of me. How do you get the mindset?
I just like the challenge.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
It is challenging. It's one of those things, you know, fitness is one of those things that either you take your nutrition seriously or you take your weight training seriously, or you take the system that you're training under seriously, whether it's jiu-jitsu or kickboxing or anything. But I always viewed it as I wanted to be more applicable. Like I wanted to have more applied.
Okay,
you know,
more functional.
And I think sometimes getting away from that can be dangerous, but you do functional training. I mean, you train, you know, for function. And I'm so amazed at balancing the function and being able to still keep a certain amount of size and vascularity. Balancing that and not having the diet to go with it is so incredibly hard. It's so difficult. Now, do people look at you and they're judging you at how hard you train because you're a female?
I mean, I get some judgments, I get some negativity, but none of that stuff really bothers me.
You don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I mean, how do you deal with it online? Do you block them? What's your move?
No, just let them go for it.
Let them go for it.
Yeah.
I think that's empowering. I said this to some of the female UFC fighters I've had on. We were talking about this before. Me and the guy in the booth, like the ones that post the you know, the black eyes after a fight and everything. You know, I see that like they see it as a badge of honor. They're like, this is like I earned this. You know, so you keep what you kill. You earn your look, and if you earn it, own it.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's the best way to live, and it's incredibly difficult for some people to do because getting to that point of like, I've earned what I have, and you know what, I own it, you know, and people don't understand it's okay to be who you are, but you have to own it wholly and fully.
100%.
And I feel safe saying that.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, I think so. You know, do you seek out any coaching beyond the gym? Do you look for coaching in obscure places? What inspires you?
I mean, I don't work with anybody else. It's very much kind of like a solo journey. I love to get educated and I love to learn from others. That's kind of hard to say.
It is. Now, you mentioned solo journey. That's something I wanted to get into with you. Training at a certain level. I know this because I've done it. Okay. Training at a certain level, it makes you very selfish. You have to be almost very selfish to be in it. That's a hard thing to juggle. All those of us that have participated in fitness at a high level, or even if you do jiu-jitsu, carving out that time or any MMA, it's a selfish endeavor, but I think you have to be a little selfish, right? Like Absolutely, in life, you have to make, they call it self-care, you time, taking care of you. I think regardless of all the distractions, you have to make time for you.
Yeah, that's my time.
It's your time, and you make the most of it. Just nail it. Just crush it. But that's not easy for people to understand. And I think from the outside looking in, a lot of people form a lot of judgments. Do you ever sit down and talk to people at shows or everything and you're like, well, listen, this is what I love to do?
I don't have a lot of negativity face to face.
Right.
It's only pretty much online.
That's how it always is though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? Because we said, and someone else who said this during the trip, they said they'll never say it to your face.
Correct.
And that's the truth.
Correct.
And that's the truth. So just be who you are and own it. Yeah, it's hard for people to do and even harder for them to understand. Now, you go to a regular gym.
Correct.
Do you go anywhere else to train?
I dabble in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I like to kind of go different places, get different.
Are you ever like, I want to swim today?
Oh, like that type of
hike instead of walk,
Occasionally I'll do the outdoor thing.
The outdoor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one to do sometimes. If you're not in the right climate or you can't do it year, it's hard to get in a rhythm. A lot of people say like, just go hike. I'm like, if you live in New England, you can only go out like 3 months out of the year. I'm like, I try to explain it to people because it's great, but at the same time, you have to have like the ability to do it year round and get into a routine that you can stick to or some type of rhythm that you can use to break it up. But
when I lived in Hawaii, I did do a lot of swimming.
Yeah. It's an incredible exercise.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I try to swim now and I sink to the bottom and I wait for the lifeguard to save me. It's like a near-death experience. Now, the other thing I want to ask you is time-wise, how do you balance regular life, everything in between, and still have the ability to train that hard and go home and kind of decompress and come down from it and balance it all? Is it a matter of just cutting out a lot of the bullshit? Like Jay Cutler always says, like, I hang up the phone. People call me with their problem, I hang up on them. Like, is that the level you have to take it to maintain that?
Well, I'm not on his level, but I can understand that type of mentality, and I do minimize the BS, I guess. Be more efficient with your time.
You have to. Now, do women ever gang up on you? Or give you a hard time? I seem like they'd be fans.
Maybe a little bit.
Why do women struggle to be so supportive of other women?
Solid question.
I know.
Solid question. I don't know. I love empowering other people, and I couldn't tell you.
The cat claws come out. It's weird.
Maybe a jealousy thing, an insecurity thing.
I think so. I think
unfortunate.
I think a lot of women get that. But, I don't see that. I've been to trade shows. I've seen, Kristen behave. She's so gracious and takes the time. And there's certain people that have that skill. Mike O'Hearn has that skill for sure. I don't know how he sits there and says hi and smiles to as many people as he does. I could never do it. You've been out with me. I can't do it. I sit in the corner and I got a puss on my face. I don't want to talk to anybody. But that's how I am, and I don't even know why people come around. I don't get it. It's weird. I don't understand it. But you have to maintain that, right? You just have to smile in the face of stupidity sometimes, right? I think that's what it is. And and the greeting stuff and everything else is, it's hard to, like, people who come up to you on social media, and I'm sure you deal with this, they think they know your whole life. Yeah. Yes. That's an interesting thing that I've discovered. Like, they'll come up to you and shake your hand. They'll be like, hey, John, it's Todd. Todd 432 R2D2.
Yeah, the best is when they give the name.
Yeah, and you're like, hi. Yeah, exactly. You put your mic on. I want to hear that. Hi. Yeah, and you don't know what to say. How do you, when you get these types of messages, and I know we all get them from people, and it's like a heartfelt, it's not a bad one. Oh yeah. But it's like, what do you say? Because they feel like they have that you know what I mean? It's how do you do it? Have you ever gotten one that are and what they're about, and you follow their journey, right? Like there's hundreds of thousands of people following your journey. When they come up to you, it's like you try to say, oh yeah, exactly. But you're dealing with that on such a mass level. It's hard to compartmentalize the chaos. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes. Have you ever gotten any crazy DMs or messages that you're like, I don't even know where to begin answering this?
I don't really check my DMs too often, to be honest.
So you don't go in there. So don't. Hey,
very rarely.
If you're sliding into Kristen's DMs, it's not going to happen. You have to block that out. And I think at some point, it's incredibly hard to deal with all the stuff you get inundated with, and especially with fitness, because people always have like a simple question too, like, I'm going outside, it's cold, do I put a jacket on? And you're like, yeah, I mean, it's cold outside. Do you ever get one that you ever consider doing like any type of online training or any type of direct training with people? And if so, if you have it now, do you individualize it where it's you talking to the person? I don't have anything like that. I know you currently don't per se, but I know you do it anyway because people message you. But when you do, are you going to keep it personal, one-on-one? I would say that would be the idea. Idea. And not have like a template or have, the cookie cutter situation. A robot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of them. But I think you're in such a unique space. You would have to dumb down what you do for people, because I think it's too hard. Like, I try to explain to people with friends of ours, like, No, normal people don't use cars for box jumps. Like, there's no training for that. Like, it just doesn't exist. But you try to explain that. And that's one of the reasons, like, I can relate to Jay with the level he trained and how hard he trained. I'm like, hey, Jay, do you train people? He's like, no. Like, because it's barbaric. Like, in some of those old workouts we did at Metroflex through the years, training with all the guys, nobody would do that.
No, not many.
No one. It's insane. Crazy. So I don't know how you would do it, but I would love to see. I know Stan Efferding's done it successfully. He's managed to incorporate that like power approach to everything, but it's not easy to do.
Yeah, I've met Stan. Nice guy.
Super insanely knowledgeable. One of the most knowledgeable human beings we've ever had on the show, right? Booth guy. Yeah, he's nodding. He ain't talking though. He's eating. No, he's not eating anymore. So what? You're not saying anything. All right. So I want to understand one key thing here and try to walk me through this. When you were looking at social media, did you ever expect for it to be where it is today with you?
Absolutely not.
Insane, right? I mean, TikTok, what it's become, insane. We've lived through it, you and I.
Yeah.
And it's crazy what it's become. Absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. And I think a lot of us got caught up in it and not understanding it. And along the way, it became something.
TikTok?
All of it.
These platforms? Oh, yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Pretty insane.
How long have you been doing social media?
So for me, it's crazy because I got into it almost immediately. So Facebook became a thing around my senior year of college. And the big thing with Facebook was it was implanted in the colleges originally. Zuckerberg dropped it into Harvard, and it started as it almost originally was like a MySpace, and I'm dating myself now. Wow. It's like a MySpace, but like it had a college feel to it. It was very collegey. Like you would go on it and you'd be like, who is that girl in my class? And there was ways you could find out, like you could kind of troll around, or who's that scumbag that kicked my beer out of my hand? You could kind of find them because it would be like Phil at Dartmouth, like that's kind of subsided and the models changed along the way. But when I came into it, Kristen, it was like companies didn't know what it was. Like they were like, what is this? Like, what did I get myself into? So I started going around and experimenting with it a little bit and seeing what we could get out of it business-wise, because I was like, wow, it's free. That was the first thing I understood. Great tool. Not understanding that the gathering, the pedigree information, and the way that it was being developed to create narratives, not fully understanding that. But along the way, these evolutions, whether it was Snapchat, Instagram coming in and kind of affecting the way that we do communications, I think it's become this kind of bastardized child that we know today. So for me, it's probably been about 15 years of looking at this, really.
Wow.
Long time. And I started out like everybody else, just having like a regular page or like a regular Facebook. And in the way that it couples to your life now, people, we used to joke, people would be posting like, I ate a cheese sandwich today. Like now you can literally spend an entire life. And with the metaverse coming in, it's all going to change. It's all going to change.
Wow.
What it's going to look like, I don't know. Am I afraid? I think I am. I mean, I would think it's very invasive, and you can get caught up in it and it can kind of dominate a lot. I think you have to balance the time, right, that you spend on it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't live on a phone.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't live on social media. No.
I mean, you just can't do it. What's coming forward for you, and what are you looking forward to, and let everybody know kind of like where you'll be and what you're up to next.
Well, I kind of hit the reset button on life recently, and I have a whole new whiteboard to, I don't know, make a whole new life for myself.
What's the perfect scenario?
Ooh.
I know you're looking for a spot. Yeah. I know you're looking for a spot per se.
I think that's kind of what this trip is for, coming out to Vegas. I'm going to go to LA here in a little bit and then kind of go back to the hometown and maybe look at a plan of action.
I think it's good to do a few years somewhere else. And I know we were talking about this offline. Wherever you choose, and if there's real estate agents out there, Kristen's looking potentially. But if you find anything, but I think a lot of places offer certain strategic advantages, and you got to look at those. But LA is just such a hard sell. I know there's reasons, but LA is such a hard sell, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a shame too.
I have a best friend that lives there, and she loves it.
Yeah, it's a shame, and I think there are a lot of good areas, but for doing business,
be tough.
It's too hard, and if you don't want to, if you want to make money, it's very hard. You either have to make a lot of it, or you have to be willing to pay a lot of taxes, or both. Yeah. Or some combination of it. But I would think you could live there if your business didn't operate there, and I don't know how that would work. But
it'd be tricky.
It would be definitely tricky. Maybe like a vacation spot. Maybe you can rent out an Airbnb and go see your friend once in a while and go live somewhere that's normal.
So that's probably a better thought.
Probably a better thought. I tried to appeal Vegas to her. I made a play. I told her some of the pluses because I think this area will be great for you. And I think you have to look at it like everything you look at is like a 3-year scenario. Like Taylor, when she came, like certain people look at it like, I'll go there for 3 to 5 years. We'll see what happens. I think they can make some stuff pop off there. The bottom line is anything Kansas City, any of those areas, it's too hard now. You got to be in like that Florida, Miami, Boca, Texas, or Vegas. I just think it's too hard unless you go way off script.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think so. Now, what else? Any shows? Anything you going to?
Oh, well, no shows. No, I don't need to compete. I kind of built my image off of I do this for the streets, not for the stage, and I'm going to maintain that.
I love that. But I mean, going to them, attending them, do you still love that or hate it?
I like the competition aspect and how people push themselves and what the body can do. It's pretty amazing, but the stage and stuff like that, just, I don't know, a little too vain for me.
Now, why do you think the myth exists that women who train, it's unhealthy, or they shouldn't do that, or that's not going to look good? Because between you and just having Taylor in here, we were chatting, and I'm being honest with all of you, like, these women are strong, beautiful women. I think people get intimidated by beautiful women or strong women, and I think that causes part of the problem. Like, it's like, oh, fuck her, right?
For sure, yeah.
And people don't understand that, the amount of work that goes into it. Now, are there people that go too far? You go too far with anything. If you do too much coke, you're a cokehead. You do too much,
Addiction's
anything. Addiction's addiction, and it doesn't make sense to behave that way. I don't necessarily know why people get that. I have my theories. Have you ever explored that with somebody, or had a situation where you had to explain, like, listen, this is how I like to do things, and if you don't like me, move on down the road? When you got into it early on, because I'm sure people were like, why do you want to lift weights? Why do you want to do that? Because there was still that myth out there, and I know Taylor still deals with it. Like,
sure,
you know what I mean?
She probably always will. I mean, if you're in the light like she is, you will. Like,
she's like, I have a glute, so what? And like, you don't. You know what I mean? But that's how I see it, honestly. Like, I have a hamstring. It's hard to explain to people that, if you work hard and you get what you want out of life, it shouldn't intimidate anyone.
Correct.
As long as it's done right.
Absolutely.
And I think people posture. I use that term a lot. They posture. They behave a certain way to kind of act like, this isn't the norm, so I'm gonna fight it. But I think you're gonna see a lot more of it. A lot more of it. I want to ask you this. There's been a huge rise of transgender athletes, okay? This is an important one. And as a woman who values competition, trains, I've asked a lot of women on this show this. I got a lot of interesting answers. Does it piss you off that they get to compete at a level that a lot of people would deem as unfair? Because I think women work hard for this.
Well, sure. Yeah. A lot of these, I mean, absolutely. I don't know if I'd say it pisses me off.
They need their own division. That's what you want to be where you want to be. Get your own division.
Yeah. Maybe that's the answer.
Whether it's powerlifting, whatever it is. I'm okay with it. Be whatever you want to be, but you need your own division, because in the fight game, it's really getting interesting.
Wow. I mean, people can get real messed up.
Yeah, you have a man fighting a woman, basically. And I know they say you can't say that, it's not a man, but it's a whole different ball game, and that has to scare a lot of people. I ask you that because I feel, and I've had a lot of women on that have talked about Claudia Gadeja, so many different fighters, and they've said the same thing. Like, they work hard to have a 10-2 record, whatever it is, or an 800-pound lift, or, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, like just to post the video. Like if you worked hard for it and you earned it, great. And now somebody comes in and says, well, that's cool, but I have long hair and I call myself ma'am and I'm going to do that. It's got to be crazy.
Yeah, I don't really like that idea.
Yeah, I think it screws everything up and it creates this like unisex approach to everything. And I just think if you work as hard as you do, because I see so much hard work, and why are we trying to erode that and water it down? And that's what I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense. The world's a weird place.
It is a little bit. Yeah.
It's getting strange. Now, I want to ask you one other thing, and I know we'll be pressed for time. There's 100 things going on today. You going to come back? You promised to?
Oh, absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
Now, you get out and shoot. I wanted to talk to you about this, but I wanted to ask you if you're going to come back. I forgot to ask you that. If you come back and visit and you want to see some other sides of Vegas, let us know. We're going to get you out there.
Would love
now, you get out to the range, you shoot, you train. Why do you think the firearms industry is either so appealing right now or pushing so many of these people that are disenfranchised right now with everything that's going on in the media? And you see, everybody being pushed to purchase more firearms and train more and participate in that. Is that something you've done your whole life, or has it flared up even more recently?
Well, my dad and brother are both Marines. And he is a retired FBI agent, and he's actually now a firearms instructor. And so I've grown up with firearms my whole life.
Hey, Dad.
Hi.
Hi. So you've been around it your whole life?
Yeah, and enjoyed it.
It's a lot of fun. I imagine you would. Being from where you're from, I figured you'd be a friend of ours. It's good to have.
Yes.
It's nice to have you. Now, how often did you get out and shoot as a kid?
Not a whole bunch as a kid, but as kind of like a young adult, definitely took that more serious.
Yeah, you got into it more.
For sure. And meeting some of these women out here that are professional shooters gets me excited to really get more education and
participate
really
a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, any level of shooting, whether it's competition or just getting out and doing a few trainings a year, ratcheting that up a little bit, it's a lot of fun, and the camaraderie is awesome. Getting out with the folks and just hanging out, doing a range day, moving around a little bit and trying some different stuff. You develop a certain comfort with it, and you get better, and it's just a lot of fun. And the shooting community is a really great community in so many ways. Very childish in a lot of ways, almost more childish than bodybuilding, which is crazy. It's very childish. But I walk around and I look at the gun industry, and I get sometimes disgusted with what I see. But it's really because I think the industry has so many great people, but we limit ourselves to such a small, finite number of people in the business. But it's so fun that I want to capture the excitement of somebody like yourself that's coming into it and with a fresh perspective, wants to try it, is excited to try it.
Yeah.
And it's a weird business. It's very, it's not as open as the bodybuilding or MMA communities are. And there's reasons for that. There's a lot of gatekeepers in it. Oh, why is she holding a gun? Why is he taking a picture? Her fingers on the trigger. She doesn't know. Fuck her, and there's all that attitude, and it's all wrong. It's so wrong. Everybody in the industry who does it is a fucking scumbag. It's so wrong. Like, they're going to teach you like, asshole, there's other things that I do really well, and this just happens to be not one of them. And I'm learning. And are you cool with that? But they're like vultures out there with tiki torches, like, let's get her, and that's how it is. They sit at home like gremlins under the basement, like, let's get her.
Nothing better to do?
Nothing better. Nothing. You probably met some of them last night.
Well, everybody has been very nice to me. I can't say anything negative.
No one's going to be mean to your face. We've discussed this. Nobody will. They'll be like, oh, shit, she's coming around. Fuck. Now I got to start doing squats and curls, and I got to do a deadlift because she's in better shape than I am. Fuck that bitch. That's how it is.
That's sad. That's sad.
It really is. It's disgusting. And we've been talking about it for a long time. I don't know why it exists. I think there can be a guy that wears a jumpsuit and hosts a podcast. I think there could be someone who's in really good shape. I think there could be someone who, likes to just, shoot firecrackers out of their ass. I think there's a place for everybody. You just have to find that place. Whatever it is, but don't hate the person that's in the place they love and doing what they love.
Agreed.
Because I think that's a beautiful thing, but it's hard to do. Hard to do.
What do you always say? Be who you want to be and own it.
Be who you want to be and own it. That's what I say.
I like that.
I say that, and I say, I always say, expect nothing, blame no one, and do your job.
That's good too.
That's the safest advice I give anyone in life. My other piece of advice is not mine, but it's a sound piece of advice. I always tell people my third lesson to live by is know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. That's not me. That's Kenny Rogers.
Ooh.
That's what I say.
Kenny.
I say, Uncle Kenny. I say, Uncle Kenny. I say, make sure you know those things. Those are key things, because in life, you have to practice those techniques. Don't go in any deals that you don't win in 2 out of 3 ways. Don't expect anything from anybody. Always just do because you want to do. And I always say, do 2 things for someone before you ask for one. And they'll show you who the type of person they are real quickly.
That's a good rule in life.
I think so.
Yeah.
I say if you do 2 nice things for someone, but the key is a lot of people say this. They say, I don't want to ask for anything. Well, if you don't ask for anything, you ain't going to get anything, because the world don't work that way. And no one has the time to sit there and listen to your fucking crocodile tears. I promise you. So I promise you gotta, do what you need to do for people, and then ask for something respectfully. Hey, you know what I think, guys, I'm not saying ask somebody to help you move. Nobody's helping you move. I promise you that.
I'll keep that in mind.
No one ever. But and if you get someone to help you move, they're a friend for life. But I say all the time, ask for something. Maybe it's, hey, can we go to dinner? Can we talk? Or like, hey, can get a cup of coffee? And I think a lot of that's lost. And that's how I formed a lot of the friendships I have and all the people. Just ask them. Like, a lot of times I think someone's interesting. I'm like, hey, come do the show.
I like that.
And I can spend an hour with them chatting, and I can get to know them. And
but
it's
you're
like,
a confident guy.
Am I? I said I was fat and I eat cereal every day. You think I'm confident? Self-deprecating.
Be you and own you. Isn't that that's your motto, isn't
You're
it?
right.
Yeah. So
You're right.
I feel like you've got to be pretty confident.
I have to make fun of myself. I feel good about that when I do it.
I'll take myself very seriously.
No, I don't
really
either.
don't.
And that's another key element. I think, Kristen, a lot of people take themselves too seriously, and sometimes you just like doing something because you like it.
Yeah. Agreed.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
I think we solved the world's problems today.
I feel pretty good about that.
I feel really good about that. Are you going to go back to the show?
You mean like SHOT Show?
Yeah, you're going to go back?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today?
I mean, I'm here.
Tomorrow?
And
yeah. She'll be at the show. She'll be on the show floor. Is there anything you saw you liked? Any specific company?
The minigun was kind of nice.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, yeah. Hey, we saw the minigun. Man in the booth. We saw the minigun.
I'd like to
sick.
own one of those. I mean, I don't know what I would use it for, but I'd figure it out.
Yeah. To everybody listening, if you can't understand it, we were walking by as a group of us. We see this minigun. We see Dylan Arrow. They make miniguns, the brand. Super fucking sick. You really understand real quick that there's no way anybody's carrying that in the field.
No.
It's enormous. It's insane. And we took a pretty badass. There was a pretty badass picture of you floating around. Hopefully you'll post it soon.
I might.
It's insane.
I might.
What's the caption going to be?
Who's I don't know.
Suresh said like who's got bigger guns or something. I don't know.
This cheesy. I mean, I ended up putting that.
But that could be cheesy and funny.
Guns on guns on. I don't know.
So if you get a chance, guys, and you make it to Vegas, go check out the minigun. Is worth. You waited to the last minute, and then you're like, I gotta take a picture.
I felt like I needed one.
Yeah, it is worth it. I was like, all right, we gotta go over there. It's kind of wild. But was there anything else you thought, geez, that's really cool? I don't think we saw anything else that I thought was outstanding.
That one sticks out in my mind.
No, I don't have anything in particular, but it was a very big show, light traffic, a couple cool knives. Saw a few cool knives actually.
Yeah.
Couple of knives we think we crossed by. I don't see much innovation this year. I didn't see anything crazy. Not necessarily. But it is what it is. Last thing, where are you going after this? You going to LA, you said. You're going to
Correct.
LA, right?
Yep.
All right. How long are you staying?
The bestie. About like 5-6 days.
And you feel like you get a good idea of the area?
I would say, yeah. I mean, she's lived there for a couple of years, and I think she's
she got the lay of the land.
Yeah. So
I thought she moved out like last week.
No. She's been out there for a little bit, and then connect with some other friends and social media guys and girls, and
guys and gals.
Yeah, go say hi to them. Mm-hmm.
Will it always be fitness for you, or is anything else in the cards?
No. I'm definitely willing to be open to a lot of other avenues as well. Fitness will, always be a foundation and a base.
If there is one, what would it be?
Ooh.
Fishing.
I don't know. Ooh, I did actually fish. I don't know if you ever saw the video, but I got invited out by Josh, Blacktip H.
Okay.
And was out in Florida with Steffi Cohen.
Dive or deep sea? Steffi's crazy. Yeah, she's been on the show.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Steffi's a sweetheart.
Steffi. And then we fished for big Goliath groupers, giant Goliath.
Insane.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they're about 500 pounds.
Yeah,
like
insane.
pulling a truck out of the.
Insane. Did you guys get one?
Yeah.
You got
I got
one?
two. Matter of fact.
I got to see a picture of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have like nerve damage on my hand from.
Yeah. Is it on your page? I didn't stalk it or anything.
I mean, it was a while ago. Probably like, I don't know, a year.
You know me. I don't know what I did last night.
It's okay.
I can barely remember yesterday. That's crazy. Yeah, Steffi's great. She's a good friend. She's a hardworking lady.
Wow, absolutely. Got the boxing stuff.
Boxing, fucking lifting weights, arm wrestling.
Oh, we arm wrestled.
Everything. Who won that? Really?
Well, we were just having some fun.
You can talk shit.
No. Steffi and I are cool. And
Steffi, she's talking shit.
no.
Why don't you guys do like one of those why don't you do one of those like Dubai crazy, like a Larry Wheels deal? Why don't you do something like that?
I don't know. Dubai?
I'm making that up. I'm just saying it because Brendan Allen and Larry did that. I'm just saying, like,
true.
Maybe that's in the cards. Why is everybody going to arm wrestling? Can I just say before we get out, that I don't understand.
You want to do it right now? No,
I will. I'll
you
lose.
Got so much stuff here. We can't.
I'm willing. Yeah, we can't do it here. There's too much shit. But everybody knows this. I'm willing to lose. Okay. I'm okay with it.
Good.
It could be fun. I might enjoy it. Some guys are into that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you got to be cautious with that on social media. We won't go there. So
yeah, but I don't take myself that seriously, so I don't care. If I lost up and up, I'd be like, so what? I'm weak.
You'd own it.
I'd own it. I'd be like, so what? I'm okay with that. Listen, I look at it this way, Kristen. If I'm the 49th best person at something out of 50 or the 50th out of 50, I'm quite okay with the 49 people above me.
You're just happy you tried?
Well, I'm just happy to be associated with that group.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the car. I don't need to drive it all the time. I'm in the car.
That's good.
That's the approach a lot of people need to take. If you're in the car and you're going in the right direction, I don't fucking need the guy in I don't need to drive and grab the wheel, because if you grab the wheel, you're going to crash.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So sometimes it's better to have a good skipper and some people that are around you and you're all kind of going to the same direction. I think you saw some of that in our group this week.
You guys complement each other very well.
Yeah, I think you see that in our group. It's kind of like almost like the Justice League, but it's like it's
Actually,
interesting.
I could say that. It wasn't a bunch of egos or alpha males or
there's a lot of shit talk, but
well, sure, and that's okay. That dynamic's good. I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like loose shit. Like we talk shit to each other from the start of the fucking show all the way. And the short shorts comment was fucking hilarious.
They weren't that short. I thought they looked nice on him.
Whenever he looked at him and said, "You have stonewashed jeans on," I nearly collapsed. We had a group of friends. It was a funny comment back and forth, but what a riot.
Yeah.
And I think you need that. It keeps it loose, but you have to not take yourself that seriously. Like you have to be able to look at people and be, listen, don't be rude. Make sure someone's in the right frame of mind, and don't be afraid to say like, hey, my bad. But when you're at a show and you're bullshitting and walking, it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs and we all enjoy each other's company. And I think we dose our relationship properly. I think that's all of our relationships. I think we dose them just right. Like we spend a lot of time with each other over a concentrated period of time, and then everybody kind of goes their way. But that's how it is with a lot of relationships with people that are moving, and we lead a different dynamic kind of lifestyle where you're traveling, you're doing things. So it makes it interesting. But that's how you have a lot of your relationships. You can be like, hey, I'm really good friends with Kristen. She's over in, LA, it's like, I'll give her a call. And the thing is, once you become a part of the friend circle, the number one thing we prescribe to, which is when you're in, the answer is never no. It might not be yes or the yes you want, but it's never no. If I call some of my friends that are in that group and I say, we got to do this or we got to do that, it's never a no. Can't be. Or you can't be in the circle.
That's a healthy friendship.
Do you want to be in the circle?
Are you inviting me?
Yeah, you can never say no. You can never say no. I'll give you your badge. I'll give you your Dakota ring after. Yeah. But it's true. You have to have that mindset with friends. And when you find those types of friends, you hang on to them really tightly.
Yes.
And that's it. And it has to be that way. And you have to be around. Every one of my friends has admitted a mistake. You have to be around someone that's willing to say, hey, fuck that up.
It happens. You're human.
or I got that one wrong. And I think that's how circle's the most overused term. I hate circle. I don't think it has a lot to do with who you put in your circle. It has more to do with who you take out of it. And if you look at it that way, then you can be open to everybody being in your circle. You have to be slow to hire, quick to fire.
Slow to hire, quick to fire.
Get rid of them if they're dead weight, if they don't want to help you or understand where you're going, and support that. Like once you hear something negative out of someone and it's not constructive, it's with malice, you have to be like, that's not my person.
Yeah, no.
Those aren't my
toxic.
people. It's toxic. It becomes dangerous because once you start to allow it and it hits you, a couple times, you start to get in that place of like, maybe they're right. Maybe I should cut my hair a certain way. Maybe I should do this, and it's dangerous. I think it's a dangerous space to live in. But we digress. Listen, give me a time check. How long have we been going? I got to double check. Yeah, we're going long. We got to get this wrapped up. This is a very busy woman.
Oh, well,
listen, we got someone coming in right after. This is a day-long affair. I appreciate you coming down.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
I'd love to have you. Not everybody gets the invite after. We've been giving a few out lately. We'll quiet it down. Somebody's calling.
Oh.
We'll quiet it down, but I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you taking the time. It means a lot.
Well, thank you. Means a lot for me to be here.
No, thank you, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of days together. We'll get out.
Over and out.
Over and out.